Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast. This is podcast number three, and today I have a very special guest and a very close friend of mine, Mir Waleed. So, let me give you a brief introduction about Mir Waleed, and then we will move towards Mir Waleed as well. So, Mir Waleed is an Amazon FBA expert. He's also a YouTuber having more than 50,000 subscribers, mostly Amazon sellers and agencies, and he has been in an Amazon industry from last 4 to 5 years. He's providing Amazon PPC, account management, photography, and all kind of services that one always looks for. So he also runs an agency which is named Scale Fortune, which has been performing really well from last couple of years. So hi Marie, how are you?
Hi, Daniel. I'm good. How about you? Thank you for having
I'm
me.
good, good. Thank you so much for coming, and it's a pleasure to have you. So, tell me about yourself. How are the things and what's going on?
Yeah, things are going pretty good. I'm looking forward for this podcast and about myself. Basically, my name is Mir Waleed. I'm from Pakistan. I run a Amazon agency called Scale Fortune. We basically help Amazon sellers with majorly Amazon PPC, their account management, and sometimes on the creatives as well. So that's what basically we do.
Interesting. That's really interesting. So, people would like to know, like, how did you end up with Amazon? You have a background in electronics, if I'm not wrong. You're an electronics engineer, and then you ended up with Amazon industry. So, how did this all started, and what made you to come into Amazon industry and specifically in Amazon PPC niche?
Yeah, so it's been a really long journey.
Uh-huh.
I graduated from the UK, studied from Manchester.
Hmm.
My main subject or my main course was electrical and electronics engineering.
Nice.
So after COVID, I came back to Pakistan, and since then, like I was someone who wasn't that much interested in doing engineering,
Hmm.
so I had to somehow skip and go towards some other career. And since I was doing the YouTube thing um, from that time, so my focus was on the online stuff during my you know bachelor days or graduation days. So um, that was something which was like very near to my heart, and I was continuously making content on YouTube, although it wasn't related to e-commerce or Amazon, but it was related to how a student can go to the UK. But
Hmm.
that was something, it was kind of a way for me to look forward in different dimension and go towards a different career.
Yeah.
So from there on, I came back to Pakistan, and I saw that there is a group called Extreme Commerce by Sunny Ali, and
Okay.
somehow I found that Sunny Ali is someone who is giving all these lectures and stuff on his YouTube channel, and I
Mhm.
started exploring about Amazon through them. Then I got a free course from them there from like their like free course basically. So started to learning from there, and now I'm here after like more than 3 years. So that was a kind of my journey since 2020. So in 2020, like late 2020, it was actual in 2021, early
Mhm.
2021, I switched to like Amazon fully.
Mhm.
So I started as a freelancer, giving services to Amazon sellers on sometimes Upwork, Fiverr, and from anywhere. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like any platform based. So since then, I've been working with like different agencies and different companies across US. And finally, last year, I decided to fully focus on my agency, which is Scale Fortune. And now we are helping Amazon sellers to grow their sales, basically. So that's kind of a pretty short and brief introduction about myself.
That's pretty interesting. You know, you have quite a history. So people still don't believe like how an engineering student can come into Amazon PPC. On the other hand, I'm also a law student if you if you're not aware of these things. So I have also ended up in Amazon industry. So this is something, you know, we can always relate with ourselves that we are in one field and switching in another field. I think that was because of the COVID, as the COVID has changed the whole dynamics, you know. So this is it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, COVID has been really good for few people, and unfortunately, really bad for like few families.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a you can say it's something that is not in our control. But yeah, we were fortunate that it turned out to be really good for us.
Of course, of course. So let's move to our first question. Like, there are people who are not aware of Amazon PPC. They might not be familiar with Amazon PPC. So, could you give a brief overview of what Amazon PPC is and how it works and what its speciality?
Yeah, sure. So basically, Amazon PPC is so the full abbreviation. If someone don't know about it, it's like Amazon pay per click. So
Mm-hmm.
PPC means pay per click. It's basically the advertising that we run across the Amazon platform, and that's where people or Amazon sellers advertise their products, and people come click their product if they have like a really good listing, and you get chances of getting sales. So that's Amazon PPC in terms of like how they get the sales or how they get the top position is kind of a technical stuff, but on the basic side it's kind of a bidding system that
Mm-hmm.
you get after for like every keyword, and once you start bidding on keywords your product starts getting rank on different search terms, and when the buyers searched your product through those specific search terms, your product starts to show up on different you can say different pages or different positions on Amazon. Like it can be showed on top of search, rest of pages, product pages, and that's where people see, okay, there is a product there which is advertised by uh, XYZ seller. They basically don't know the brand name until they go into the listing, or sometimes they do on some categories. Like when you go onto the first page, you will see that Amazon is showing the brand name, and from there on they go into the listing, and then they basically purchase it from there. So it's kind of a way
Mm-hmm.
for Amazon to earn and for
Mm-hmm.
sellers to earn as well. Because I guess last year was the one where Amazon earned the most with Amazon PPC, and since then they
Wow.
are keep on like pushing PPC and giving leverage to PPC more on that. So um, that's basically, in simple words, that's Amazon PPC.
That's a very interesting answer. You know, people, if I consider myself as a newbie, it's a very interesting answer to, you know, look for and what Amazon PPC is. So, regarding 2024, if you see like the dynamics have been changing. In fact, you wake up the next day, the whole algorithm will be changed and there would be something new to discover. There would be something new to learn. So, why is Amazon PPC more important in 2024? As you said, like they have doubled the revenue in last year. Amazon, whether it's Amazon sellers or whether it's Amazon itself. So why is Amazon PPC more important in 2024 as compared to the previous years?
Yeah, so basically, if you compare this year with last few years, Amazon is still giving leverage to the sellers who are investing more on PPC.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, you can say, one of the most attractive ways to get sales on Amazon. So whether you are a new seller, whether you are an old seller, whether you have like your organic rankings from
Mm-hmm.
past several years, Amazon is pushing for you for PPC, because in case if there is some sort of like new seller who is better at conversion in your niche, Amazon will with the time Amazon will leverage the organic spots or the sponsor spots to that old to that new seller. So
Yeah.
that's why this is something that it's bringing more revenue to the platform, and
Mhm.
it's bringing more to the sellers as well. But with the time, we have seen that the bids are going very high, especially
Yeah.
when it comes to Q4 and near to the Christmas, and especially after this September period. They keep on pushing the bids. The bids go really high, and it becomes really hard if you're launching a product on Amazon, but you do not have the cash. So it's becoming a cash intensive business.
Hmm.
And people who used to come to the platform with let's say $2,000, $3,000 or maybe $5,000,
Yeah.
they simply can't get to the point where they used to get back in, like, maybe 2, 3, or 4 years ago,
Hmm.
because now Amazon pushes more about like PPC. There are tons of competition on the platform.
Yeah.
Chinese sellers are everywhere, so you have to um, like find a really good spot on Amazon to survive for the long term. But unfortunately, new sellers who come to the platform, they do not have like much knowledge on the PPC side of things, or in general Amazon side of things. So they get to hear from anywhere, and they just select a product randomly. They get to launch that product on Amazon, and after some times, they give up basically. It's because their basics are not right, so they can't do much by spending their whole money into the Amazon PPC. So it's kind of, although I agree that Amazon has like uh, put everything into the Amazon PPC
Yeah.
for rankings and stuff. People use different ways as well, like external traffic and stuff. But at the same time, people are not focusing more towards how their listing needs to be. So they are not optimizing their listing page. Their creatives are not really to the point, and the images basically. So images are something that are the most important when it comes to Amazon. So that's how things have been changed past. If you compare past 2 3 years with this year, or even last year, you will say people used to come to Amazon. They had like random images, and they used to survive. But it's not
Right.
like that. You have to be creative to survive on the platform.
Interesting. That's very interesting. You mentioned like the cost of PPC has been rising, and so what if you have to approach with a PPC campaign? So how would you avoid those cost, extra cost, and what will be your strategies to drive a successful PPC campaign? Like what would be your checklist, or what key factors you would keep in your mind that I would like to go with this strategy and put my ball into the court like this way?
Hmm. Well, that's a interesting question, and this question doesn't have like a single answer
I know. Yeah.
because like it depends.
Mhm.
It depends on niche to niche, category to category, product to product. But kind of a common way to avoid basic mistakes is, people do some basic mistakes when it comes to their naming structure.
Mhm.
So they do not name the campaigns properly. Why I'm focusing on this point is basically, once you start doing Amazon, or let's say start doing PPC in the beginning, naming structure is important when it comes to PPC, because once you will have like tons of campaigns and you do not have like
Yeah.
portfolios or proper naming structure, it will be very difficult for you to identify where or what campaigns you have basically. So that's one thing people need to focus on. It's basically called nomenclature. And secondly, the structure that I prefer mostly is because on Amazon, it's more about sponsor products, because even if you go to if you ask like expert Amazon PPC experts out there in the market, they will they will agree to my point that 70 to 75 to 80% it's dependent on sponsor products, so not on sponsor display
Okay.
and sponsor brands. So you have to give more towards sponsored products, and you have to make the campaign structure something like this. So it's kind of a generic example, but you can use it on your product. So basically you should have, like, let's say you have one campaign, let's say exact match type, right? You have one campaign, one ad group, and a maximum of 5 keywords in
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
single ad group. I'm not saying this is the red line for everything, but a lot, like, I have personally seen accounts where you will see tons of ad groups in the campaigns,
Yeah.
tons of keywords inside the campaign, and still they are performing. So that's something like I've personally seen, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure people must have seen this. But the proper way. So what I'm talking about is more like a structured way, so that you can monitor the performance in a better way. So you have like one campaign, one ad group, and 5 keywords, or sometimes it's like if you want to test on uh, per keyword, then you will add one keyword. So it kind of gives you more leverage to basically test the campaign and to know what's performing and what's not. So if you have like hundreds of keywords inside a campaign, so it becomes really difficult to see what's performing, what's not, and it's obviously time taking.
Good. So, I have ran all these campaigns as well. Regarding my background, we have been running Pinterest ads as well. So I have found the Amazon campaigns the most trickiest one. If you see, like, other than that, if someone's passed through the Amazon PPC campaigns, the rest of the things becomes very very easy to you all the social media platforms, whether it is Facebook, whether it is Instagram, all those advertising becomes very easily when someone goes through Amazon PPC process. Specifically, we have this one question that I would like to highlight here. Maybe you could answer this. This is the question: that what are the best resources to learn Amazon PPC on internet that you suggest, and do you have a course?
No, I do not have any course. uh, well, there is a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few people that you can follow on YouTube. You can follow Elizabeth. You can follow the Ad Badger YouTube channel, and you'll find tons of content on YouTube, on LinkedIn regarding that, and you can learn the basics from there. So you will have to just watch few tutorial videos on the basics
Mm-hmm.
from YouTube, and
Yeah.
for some sort of like advanced stuff, you can watch this type of podcast where people go onto the technical side, and they discuss basically the case studies and how they prepare their Amazon PPC. So that's what I can recommend, and maybe you can get a free course from anywhere.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I thought you do have a course, but you don't, so that's okay. Um, there's this one thing in industry, there's a lot of service providers coming into specifically Amazon PPC niche, and you have seen a lot of saturation when it comes to Amazon service providers. So, what suggest or what advice you would suggest someone starting with Amazon PPC? Are they what challenges they could face and how they should overcome it? Whether they should jump into Amazon PPC, or is it the right time to jump into PPC? Just like if you have seen, like, in 2020 there was no as such saturation and there was no as such competition in Amazon PPC, but right now if you see that, like, there are thousands of agencies registered, thousands of freelancers, thousands of, maybe in hundreds of thousands of freelancers providing Amazon related services. So what is your take on this?
Hmm. I actually need to think about this this question before I answer. Uh, so basically, anyone who is new to the platform or to the service industry, I basically, that's kind of my formula of recommending someone who is new. So what I suggest is, let's say you have uh, noticed that, or get some sort of motivation or inspiration from here and there,
Yeah.
and you want to start with Amazon as a freelancer.
Yeah.
My suggestion would be, because Amazon is so big that you can't start with whole of Amazon, like it's private label, wholesale, PPC, and listing, catalog, and so on and so forth. So I would suggest that, pick maybe three or four skills out of there. Like, let's say if you just consider Amazon private label, you can consider Amazon PPC, SEO, and maybe if you have like graphic designer background, you can select the creatives as well, or maybe reinstatement site, right?
Yeah.
So after considering, let's say, three to four skills, you can simply do more research on what basically is something that you are passionate about, or what's something that can help you go further, or what's something that you can follow for longer time consistently. So that's the trick basically. So once you start um, like watching a lot of content,
Yeah.
reading a lot about the skill set,
Yeah.
then you will know that, okay, PPC is something that I can go forward with, and it seems like it's kind of interesting for me, and I can, build a career on that. And maybe some people have like a background, they are more skilled towards Excel,
Yeah.
and they love to use Excel. So for the people who use Excel, they basically don't get in much trouble when it comes to PPC,
Yeah.
because they can simply manage by putting all those formulas and stuff. I'm still not a good guy when it comes to Excel, but
Yeah.
it's fine. But if you are, then you can think about it if you want to start PPC, because this is something that can give you like leverage when it comes to PPC. So that's how you can, basically choose a skill. And then after that, it's basically getting how to get the business, and that's where the competition starts. It's not like you have to like struggle on getting the knowledge. I think you
Yeah.
can get knowledge easily. You have AI, you have YouTubes, and you have Facebooks, and every platform out there, and people out there are like giving free courses and stuff to learn. But when it comes to getting business and business development, that's where you it will take time. And then obviously you have to, try all the platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, build your personal brand out there on social media, and just trying out the ways. So that's what I can recommend.
Awesome, awesome. I feel like you have mentioned every detail that ones need to hear before coming to Amazon or any industry specifically. One thing I have noticed is that like people are very impatient, when it comes to learning a skill or when it comes to money making skills. People feel like they have to jump into this and make money as soon as possible. People have been doing degrees for 4 to 5 years, but they would like to get return in terms of skill in like 4 to 5 months. And that's
Yeah.
a very unrealistic expectation from a skill. So once someone starts like Amazon PPC services, or he starts learning Amazon PPC services, and he expect those result in like 90 days, that I have learned this skill in 90 days, I have learned all the courses, I have gone through all the courses, now I'm the expert and I need all the money in the world because I'm the only expert. So this is one thing I have noticed, that the patience is the key, and consistency pays. So once you stick with something, once you stay at one thing, it will always bring the fruit, whether in terms of monetary, whether it's come of learning. It can give you any kind of experience, but you need to be patient enough to learn this. So there
Yeah,
has been,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
the
there
right
has been,
mindset is important basically.
of course,
So I personally myself, like, I have like spent 6 months on like my learning, and after 6 months I was able to, get my first dollar, which is like you know the first fruit of, what you wait for. So people
exactly.
think like in 6 months you can, get to the moon and, do everything you want. So it's not like that. You have to be very patient.
Of course, of course. Likewise, it took me like 6 to 7 months to earn my first dollar, when I started back in uh, Amazon industry. Before that, I used to be a professional cricketer and then all that stuff. So it takes time, things takes time. And once they take time, they bring good fruit. If something
Hmm.
is too good to be true, then it is too good to be true. You have to believe in that. That something is very shiny, then it's not true. So that's it. So there's one thing that has been evolving in last 6 to 8 months. You have seen the rise of chat gpt, so how it has affected the Amazon PPC, or there have been a lot of automation tools, software tools that are doing the PPC itself. So how it has affected the human force, and how much effective they are, and how do you predict the future of those AI related tools and the person who is doing the PPC himself?
Yeah, so far I think I haven't seen mm, much of an impact when it comes to like in specific PPC, because the tools and everything, they are there from I think past 2 3 years or maybe more,
Yeah,
and people have been using those tools to optimize their PPCs or for bidding purposes or for whatever.
yeah,
But in general, most of the agencies out there, they kind of make their own processes and stuff, and they make their own like you can say sheets to automate
yeah,
their like their business or their PPC, whatever it is. So currently I think most people, if they are utilizing AI with PPC, is chat gpt, I think for the research purpose and for um, in general. And
hmm,
I haven't like seen much of an impact right now. Maybe in future we will see next year. Next year will be something that I think will be more focused on AI, because a lot of tools, I think they are in the testing stage as well.
yeah,
They keep on, AI itself is like on a verge of like going towards its you can say the fullest potential. It's I think in somewhere in the beginning or in the middle. And when it comes to like technical stuff, you can't like 100% rely on tools, I think. Human input is very important when it comes to technical stuff like PPC.
interesting. That's some interesting insight about this as well. So, Prime Day is coming, right? And I bet you have a lot of strategies in your mind that you can recommend. So, what key points that you would like to mention for all those sellers going into Amazon Prime and they're looking forward to make good money out of it?
Yes, so we are very near to Prime Day. I think 20th June was the date to for the cut of inventory. So after 20th June, Amazon won't receive inventory. So I think this is the time to send your inventories as soon as you can.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it's late or it's just like on the ending side, but that's something you can always check with Amazon. I think it was 20th June as far as I remember, because I have made some content on Prime Day as well on my YouTube channel as well.
Oh, cool, cool.
And on Prime Day, basically it's pre-Prime Day, it's on the Prime Day, it's before the Prime Day. Basically, whether you have to opt for Prime Day or not, you have to see what your inventory levels are, whether your margins are that much that after giving, let's say, 20% discount, you are still end up making money. It's not just about sales. End of the day, Amazon is, you are doing Amazon because you want to make more profits, right? So that's why I think you have mentioned my wrong channel here. uh, yeah, I think that's Scale Fortune channel. Anyways, so uh, yeah, so basically you have to increase your stock if you are going fully on the Prime Day.
Mm-hmm.
You have to see what PPC strategies are you using, what you
Yeah,
have to do 2 weeks 3 weeks before Prime Day, what adjustments do you need to make before Prime Day, and the list basically goes on. But it's more about the timely preparation. It's not like something that you can do just before the Prime Day.
yeah, exactly.
It's more about like preparing 2 3 weeks or even a month before
Yeah.
going into the Prime Day.
I agree. I agree with this part, like preparation of Amazon, especially the Prime days. People have been planning it for like before a month or two. They start planning for this day because they have to um, maybe give some kind of discounts, some kind of deals, and then preparing all those campaigns according to that day. So the advertising cost could get double, you could get the sales as double as well. So yeah, absolutely, you're spot on this. So there are a few questions left that I would like to ask from you. One is, how do you predict the future of Amazon PPC beyond 2024? What is your take on this, and where it is going, and how difficult it is going to be in future? As you see, like the cost of PPC has been rising on daily basis, and sellers are restrictions on sellers are getting more and more. A lot of account suspension has been going on, and a lot of sellers has been, a lot of small sellers, basically not the big fishes, a lot of small sellers have been facing a kind of trouble, when it comes to launch an Amazon product. And the PPC is the compulsory thing to launch a product on Amazon in 2024, if I'm not wrong. So how do you predict the future of Amazon PPC, and how sellers should prepare for all those upcoming challenges and trends in Amazon ecosystem?
Yeah, I think my prediction is until next year, Amazon PPC is going with the same speed. The most worrying thing um, for Amazon sellers, especially the new sellers, is uh, the Amazon fees, or like the other fees is that Amazon puts on sellers. That's more worrying than than PPC. Although PPC, I think Amazon will go with the same pace, and maybe they keep on increasing, god knows, but the way they have seen this push from Amazon sellers in like past 5 6 months, because of the fees and stuff, Amazon might reconsider on um, maybe taking off some fees, or maybe adjusting their PPC pricing or bids or whatever it is. And I think it will go like that. For if you talk about PPC, it's, I think maybe it's like a lifetime thing until we see something new like AI,
Yeah.
because it's basically connected with every platform like Google, Pinterest, Amazon, Instagram. So it's not like something that um, you can escape, or you can sideline. But that's something, when it comes to Amazon PPC, that's something Amazon have to consider when it comes to like bidding and stuff. But the way it's going, I think it will go with the same pace until next year.
Good, good. So let's hope what you're saying is true, and Amazon sticks to it, and sellers are not feeling much pressure on this. So, coming to my last few questions, what piece of advice you would give someone that is at your stage, at 25 years of age, and starting his career and looking forward to making money in, especially in Amazon industry? So this is a specific question that I ask from any single person, that what advice they would give to someone who is at the early age of his career, and what key factors he should focus on. So this is out of Amazon. It can be general, it can be anything.
Hmm. Uh, well, if you are like 25 or in your early 20s,
Yeah.
basically one thing that you have to focus over these years, to get some sort of results. I won't say it like success, because success is something that is kind of undefined in front of my eyes. But to utilize your maximum potential in your 20s, all you have to do is just remain consistent with whatever you have. Your decisions are going to make an impact in what your life is going to be in the next 10 years, 5 years. So make sure you take advice from the right people,
Yeah.
not from like everyone. And whatever you are doing, do it consistently for at least some sort of like 1 year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. like do not switch off, like do
Yeah.
not switch too early into like different fields. Yes, if you are if you are seeing some sort of opportunities, you can go with that.
Yeah.
But it's not just about like making more money out there. It's more about your personal growth as well, and money is part of your personal growth. So the more valuable you are, the more money you are going to make. That's the simple advice I can give.
Exactly. There was this question I was asking from Regina Peterbergsky in my last podcast, and she was mentioning about taking risk as this
Yeah.
20s to 25, that you have to take a lot of risk. Take risk at every step that you are taking because you have nothing to lose at this stage. Like you don't have a family, you don't have someone to support, or you don't have someone to look, take care of. So it's all about taking the risk and then learning from all those mistakes and never repeat those mistakes again, and that's how you improve. And just like that, there was this question about the passion and having the right skill set. So she also mentioned that, like, if you have experimented a lot of things in your life, like you have experimented this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, and then you have a, a, a dictionary of experiments, and then you will be able to find out the right skill set for you and right
Mm.
passion for you, because you have gone through a lot of experiences and a lot of mistakes. So fail, fail faster, fail better, but fail in a different way. So my advice to people. Coming to the end of this podcast, people would like to connect with you when it comes to learning PPC or maybe taking services from you. So what's the best way to reach out to you? Could you please let us know?
Yeah, so basically, if you are an Amazon seller and you are looking for any services, you can simply go to our website. It's www.scalefortune.com, and you will find the information there. Just simply fill out a form there, and we'll reach out to you. And if you are any young freelancer or just starting off and you are looking for maybe any advice, maybe my 2 cents can make a difference in your life, you can simply reach out to me to my email. It's mirwaleed at scalefortune.com.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Also, can you mention your social media pages as well, if someone would like to reach out to you there as well?
Yeah, I think if you go to Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, just search in my name. It's Mir Waleed. You'll see my profile somewhere on the top.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Look like you have done all the SEO risks right?
Yeah, it's kind of natural.
Yeah, you have a unique name, and that's what matters, I believe. So, let's end this podcast. Thank you so much for coming, Mir, and it was really interesting talking with you. And I really appreciate you taking time for this. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.